Hi, I'm Nancy Halverson, Executive Director of Levitt at the Falls. As we all know, 2020 and 2021 have been a little crazy with the whole pandemic. In 2020, we were able, because of the support of our community, to continue living out our mission of building community through music through two new programs. The first was Levitt in Your Neighborhood, which brought 20 small pop-up concerts, all featuring local artists, to communities most impacted by the coronavirus. The second program we were able to develop in 2020 was Levitt in Your Living Room, the program you're watching tonight. And we couldn't be more grateful to our friends at Think 3D who made it possible for us to bring this all together. Of course, great love to Vaney Hariri, our host, who you came to know throughout this process, but a guy that you haven't had a chance to meet yet, and that's Dan Card, who is our producer behind the scenes making all of this happen. Now, going forward into the summer of 2021, what we're looking forward to is 40 live concerts back out on the lawn. And we have a new partnership, and that's with South Dakota Public Broadcasting. They will be joining us on the lawn for all 40 concerts, and they will be picking up the next part of Levitt in Your Living Room. So we're excited to take what we've learned and move it forward with our new partnership. But of course, we're not letting go of the friends we've gotten to know. And tonight, we have a special treat for you. The Vaney Hariri, who you've come to know and love as your host, is also a very talented artist. And you're going to get to see that work tonight. So please sit back and enjoy V the Noble One and the Night's Tempo.
the best, let's go.
You are now.
You are now.
Rockin' with the. You are now.
You are now.
You're
Rockin' with the.
best.
Yo, it's the kid. You know the best of them. A student, so ain't no point in testing them. 15 years and your boy's still relevant. Never been messed with, so I guess I'm still celibate. I dropped the album and you know that it's gon' sell a bit. A couple hundred, couple thousand if you're rounded. Always been that dude, so you know I stay surrounded. But it's like I pissed my mama off, I gotta stay grounded. Not a big head, just a big brain. Not a big talker, just a big game. Come on, you know I got a mind like Play-Doh. Y'all dudes is all soft, y'all got spines like Play-Doh. This ain't a game, cause your boy don't even play go. Don't make me call that blitz, we can see just how that play go. And all y'all cowards better check what team y'all play for. You better get loyal, cause it don't move without my say, so let's go.
You are now.
You are now.
You're rockin' with the. You are now.
You are now. You're rockin' with the.
You are now.
You are now.
You're rockin' with the. You are now. You're rockin' with the best.
I gotta tell you that this game be so crazy. Messing with dudes that you know is so shady. Smiling in your face and try to holler at your lady. Them clowns lucky they ain't pushing up Daisy. Well, it's all good cause I don't let that stuff faze me. I wouldn't have cuffed her if she wasn't looking tasty. She hold me down while I'm out here getting rich. I love my chick so much that I don't call her my chick. Let's go.
You are now.
You are now.
Rockin' with the. You are now.
You are now.
Rockin' with the best. You are now.
You are now.
Rockin' with the. You are now.
You are now.
Rockin' with the best.
the idea. I think my team is FOE, FOG, the click the meanest. Some people out there even call a kid a genius. Well, I guess I get your point. It's all good, cause we get it in the major way. I'm the CEO and chill, he run the day to day. We make it hit, so you know we getting major play. I let them numbers talk, I ain't hearing what the haters say. Let's go.
You are now, you're rocking with the, you are now,
You are now.
you're rocking with the band. You are now,
You are now.
you're rocking with the, you are now,
You are now.
you're rocking with
The
the
best.
band.
Let's go.
When the world changes, you change with it. By embracing new rhythms, redefining connection, and taking less for granted, you push through the uncertainty. And at every point along the way, we stand with you. Because even when your world looks different, our commitment to your care stays the same. Sanford Health. Health lives here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special episode of Levitt in Your Living Room. It means a couple things. Number one, it is the end of this particular season of Levitt in Your Living Room. It is the end of our particular production here at Think 3D and Thinker Networks. And it is my episode where you get to see me. But after this moment right now, I'm going to be off the clock. Giving up my hosting duties. We're passing the scepter to another lovely personality that is going to fill your homes and help us continue the mission of bringing the community together through free live music. And we're going to keep bringing it to you. And it is my deepest pleasure to introduce the new host. I told you I was bringing you guys somebody special. The new host of Levitt in Your Living Room. Please give it up for Apollonia Davila. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm
yes.
not worthy.
Oh, knock it off.
I'm not worthy.
We're not buying it.
We are rocking with the best. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, V, I love you. Oh my, this is so exciting. Well, like tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we get to dive deep into the other side of V, the noble one, the musician, the artist, the composer. This wonderful, amazing man. But we want to start off with grace and gratitude for the reason why we're here. So let's give a shout out to our sponsors. The Levitt Shell in Sioux Falls is part of a national network of outdoor Levitt music venues and concert sites. As coveted anchors of community life, family, friends, neighbors of all ages and backgrounds can come together through the power of free live music. And leading the program's nationwide growth is the Mortimer and Mimi Foundation. So do please learn more. Visit www.levitt.org. We love you. So, V, I just want an audience at home, please, as a family, come together, dance, just revel in the art that has been created for you tonight.
Yes.
So you are known as, in this area, the godfather of hip hop. You know, how does one be enthroned with that epic title?
It basically means you're old. Is really what that means. That's basically what it comes down to, is that I've just been doing it for a long time. I think what it was for me is that when we were, starting out, I was in a group called the Noblemen. I was working on the solo album prior to that, but I was in a group called the Noblemen. And at the time, there were only a handful of acts out there, Slam Hound, Headhunters, United Ballers, and then what was now known as Soul Crate. And so there was just this kind of conclave of artists, and I'm just, one of the ones that kept at it and was, putting things out. And for me, I always like being in front and working in the background. So I like to just try to make sure that we were pushing the scene forward.
Sure, you're very well-rounded, and that comes across because you really can't put your music into a box. You cover a full range of really eclectic sounds, just from reggae. You got that classical side, that rock, the jazz, the blues. I mean, there's not one single song that is that is similar.
Yeah.
But what I want to focus on is your lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
You are a profound writer. You need to listen to that song over and over and over again, or else you're gonna miss something. Where, as a poet, where does your voice come from? Is there someone along the way that has inspired you where you've become so masterful within this eloquent communication of language?
There's a lot of artists that inspired me that way, but actually my older cousin, Junior, we call him June, he rapped, and I was one of those people where, I just wanted to be around that energy. It's just one of those things where it just struck a chord with me right away. And interestingly enough, one of the first times we performed, the first time I probably ever performed on stage was Lincoln High School talent show. There's some video out there floating around. That might be a thing. But at the time, once I knew that I could rap, I've always kind of had a way with words to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just kind of into people who musically were able to bring it together. So for me, it was your Rakims, it was your Big Daddy Kane's, your Notorious B.I.G., those type of things were people who spoke to me in terms of their versatility. And that's one thing that was always big for me.
Mm-hmm. One thing you, behind the scenes, you mentioned Lincoln High School and performing there. Was there anyone there to kind of help build that foundation, to have appreciation for, the art of language itself? I
think that's probably more true for a lot of my band members. We have a lot of folks that were, drumline and all of those other type of things. For me, I wasn't approaching music from an academic space at that particular point in time. It was one of those things where I was just into it, and I just thought I could do it. And if I have one of my superpowers is being aggressively ignorant to what I can't do. And so it was one of those things where I just look at stuff and I'm like, that doesn't seem so hard. And I just do it. And it was one of those type of things. And it just happened to be the thing that clicked with me.
Yeah, well, that's amazing to me because music is math. And for all of those out there who, you may not be one to compute something ever so quickly, math is hard. So you're already I love the knowledge that just really pulls and pours in through to your art. So share with us what we're going to be seeing next.
So I believe this next one here is Stand Together, which is, a song that I wrote because we it's interesting because I wrote it, almost a decade ago. But it's one of those songs that still keeps being relevant because it just talks about our need to come together and just where we're at in the world and all the things that are happening in various spaces. And so this is a little tune talking about that piece of it. A little reggae vibe.
A little reggae vibe. Let's check it out.
We only preach democracy, so you don't get what you want, and then, well, here comes the hypocrisy, cause them stocks keep robbing, and them jobs keep plummeting, and everybody want less government when they ain't the runs that's running it, and these CEOs, they be running around, they all think that they slick, got you arguing about insurances, and not the stuff that make you sick, and now you looking at these warlords like how they get this juice. We all say that we hate wars, we just love what they produce. See, it's a war of win the commerce, it's a monster we created, cause we worried about our iPad more than the child hands who made it. See, it's the power of $1, too bad that dollar's been inflated. You can't stop a revolution, you can only hope to delay it. And in this more perfect union, we the only ones that can save it. You need to watch them while they doing it and tune them out while they saying it. They wasted so much time with this silliness they debating. Let them know that they still work for us till sanity's reinstated. What?
Stand together, but with open face. 'Cause violence begets violence.
Come now.
And we've got to
finally peeped they plot. On a card of what they plan. I started screaming to my brothers, hey yo, it's time to take a stand. See, the first move they gon' pull is to how to rip you from your fam. Have you looking at your brothers like you couldn't give a damn? Till they turn allies into enemies. Friends and a friend of me. Then they hide behind the lies and all the things that they pretend to be. See, the trick is, the slickest move is the one that you don't peep. That's why they argue while you awake and then pass laws while you asleep. And now you out here trying to get it. And they just stepping on your dream. But you screaming at politicians like you fail to see the strings. And then you pull out on Facebook. It's an everyday thing. You be screaming about your rights where they downloading what's on your screen. And I know you want some new J's, so you be working like a slave. But if you walked up off your job, then now products not getting made. And yeah, they posting record profits. And you still not getting paid. You so busy watching reality when in reality you getting played. It's time to
Stand together.
come now.
And we've got to resist. It only brings us that much closer.
One time.
To the end of the list. Respect each other, sister, brother. Got to learn to love like this.
Let's go.
The Levitt is all about building community through music. And there is not a song that is more perfect for that mission than Stand Together by V, the Noble One, and the Knights Tempo. I'm completely moved by that piece, and I hope you are too. And one of the reasons why we're here tonight, community, come help us out, support our artists, keep the music free, and be sure to give to our virtual bucket this evening. So support the Levitt. You can text Levitt, Levitt, to 605-524-2170. Thank you in advance for your support. We love you. So V, with this song, Stand Together, we have this wonderful building of community, that mission. Where have you seen for you this concept that art matters? You know, the music matters. We need it with COVID and everything. How has music really been a block, a building stone, a bridge in your life personally?
Well, I mean, like, music is one of the truly transcendent things, you know. So when we talk about culture and art, all of those other type of things, music stands out as something that is been with us for the entire time of humanity. It's something that connects people. And the Levitt is a prime example of that, right? When we have people that come from different backgrounds, we have people that come from all different walks of life and that type of thing, worldviews. And then you see a Brulane, you see 8,000 people on the lawn of all of those different types, like just having an experience together. When you see Corey and the Fireflies out there, you see 5,000-6,000 people out there having an experience together. It's magical. You know, there's times, if anybody's been to that amazing concert of somebody they love and everybody's singing the song at the same time, like there's love in that room. Republicans, Democrats, black, white, all the stuff. There's a love in that room when we all get to connect like that. Music does that. And that's one of the things that matters more than most things.
Absolutely. It really syncs us to a single heartbeat.
Yes.
You know, you're at a concert and everyone's flowing and moving to that same rhythm. And you've got that gift. Even with this, the energy, the synergy that you developed with your band, you all come from very dynamic backgrounds, you know, genres of music. And that is it's a gift where they can all talk to one another, you know.
Yeah.
that piece?
Well, the talent is what makes that possible. You know, when you got talented people who are into the music, and you know, all of the folks that are in my band are like, you know, next level musicians. And the beautiful thing about it is that it allows me to play a little bit, you know, because again, because I didn't come into music from an academic place, you know, so I don't read music or any of those other type of things. So when I'm talking to them about stuff, it's a lot about feel. It's a lot about what I want people to feel, what I want the feel in the room to be, and what the energy is, and what we're trying to communicate. And they're able to distill that and put it into, you know, the music that you hear. And so, you know, it's possible because other people help me make that possible.
Oh my gosh, amen.
Yeah.
You know, it is a soulful experience.
Yeah.
And so I know you're all excited about this summer to see them on the stage.
Yeah,
We can't wait.
Be out there.
So what have you got for us next tonight?
Okay, this one I believe is Rocksteady. So this is a cool little jam. I have a softer side. You know? I don't think people always appreciate that about me. But I'm a bit of a romantic.
Oh my gosh, get ready for the love, Sioux Falls and community and beyond. Get ready.
Yeah, I can't wait to have my wife fact check that one.
What do we have here? Nothing short of a vision, not of a dream, but at least that's what it seems. I know these dudes, they be hating. Why? Cause you ain't falling for that. What up, shorty? Hey, boo, you know that ain't you, so let me approach properly. Minus the game, I'm trying to spark a conversation. Let me bless you with my name. Yeah, they call me V. And yeah, that's short for something. And you can get to know the rest when I know you ain't frontin'. You see, the thing about me is I see it, I want it, I get it. And with you, yes, I intend to. I don't mean to offend you, it's just the way you lookin'. I'm thinking we got something cooking, and I wanna take advantage. I ain't lying, cause I ain't planned it. So let's move around and take a tour of my residential. We can crack open some wine and let me look into your mental. Then maybe after that we can come to an agreement. Cause the game of love is hard. Why don't we just double team it? She said, she said rock me steady, so I did.
Baby, take your time.
Take your time. Take your time. She said
rock me steady.
She said rock me steady, so I did.
'Cause boy, we got all night. Baby, rock.
Why don't we sip on this Bacardi while we bumpin' this Bob Marley? While we puff on this Bob Marley? I ain't done with you now hardly. Should've warned you I go hard. My white friends say I get gnarly. I done tried to mug the girls, but they just ain't do it for me. But I finally found the one. Praise God, oh lordy, lordy. I be your problem solver. You ain't never got to worry. And I'm so focused on you. You finally changed my interest. And you into me like Pinterest. What kingdom lost they princess? Well, it's too late for them. But you are mine now. Why don't you dim the lights? It's time to wind down. Now put your head on my pillow, that's how grown men do. I got this loving that you need, baby, it's all for you. Yeah.
it funny how the world don't seem to understand till you let them all know I'm not
I was just chillin', thinking back on the younger me. Thinking how I used to second guess all that was old to me. But now y'all got a deal. I ain't turning down my bonus. Told me I was broken, it turned out I need some more with me. Now I step to it, I will put my rep to it. This is motivation music, give one more rep to it. If I say it, I do it. If I claim it, I prove it. My life been like a movie, I ain't never slept through
that
it.
I'm staring at the mirror, falling in love with what I see. Now that the fog is getting clearer, I can get back to seeing me. I was so lost and I was out there walking blindly through the storm. So if you're out there, know that we'll find you. Use all of your strength and hold on.
Let's go.
Ain't it funny how your dreams just fall into your hands when you learn to let go? Ain't it funny how the world don't seem to understand till you let them all know I'm working on
This world can make you crazy if you think like me, you know it's true. So I can empathize with all the things I know you going through. You running out of energy, you fighting fools that bring you down. But really, who's a fool if you keep keeping all these fools around? You can do it differently. You ain't gotta take that path. Anyone that's subtracted from me, I just can't do that math. Life is too short. And this little time it passed fast, not knowing where you're going. I ain't gotta have the last laugh. They see the way you treat yourself, to run you through the mud. That loving just don't show when you the last one you show love. If we left you to judge you, you never make the grade. How can you say you love your maker, then hate the things he made?
Ain't it funny how your dreams just fall into your hands when you learn to let go? Ain't it funny how the world don't seem to understand till you let them all know I'm working on me.
What makes Core Trust the best bank in South Dakota? Well, it starts with our Midwestern values. It's in our deep-rooted desire to help our neighbors and our communities. Here at Core Trust, we still value a handshake and a hard day's work. We're the bank you can trust to be good stewards of your hard-earned money and to help you reach your goals. At Core Trust, our values run deep. We're more than just a bank. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your family.
Thank you again to our sponsors, Core Trust Bank, as well as Sanford Health, and be sure to contribute to that virtual bucket. So I hope you're all just jamming out, because I'm here in the studio, I'm listening to these songs, and Shandy, man, what a voice!
Yes.
You know, just so got a chocolate. Oh, it's just
Yeah.
You know, how have you? This is more than hip hop, right? It's just more than rap. How have you, in your own words, crafted to make it your own style?
Yeah, there's a couple things. So for me, again, it goes into the lyricism. It's hard for me to write about nothing, especially somebody that comes from just traditional rap. To be honest with you, I got bored a little bit because it just didn't have enough kind of movement to it. Sometimes I was up there with my DJ and, you know, I'd do a set and instead of go well or whatever, but I couldn't really move. Having a band, you know, we could take it wherever we want to take it. If we want to, for whatever reason, reggae something up, we can reggae it up. If we want to do something else with it, we can. And then the other piece of it is doing little things like working with a mic stand, which is something that's not, you know, typical for most MCs. And so that's something where versus just moving around, having something wireless, I wanted to be grounded like a front man a little bit more with the band. So it's fun to do things with the mic stand and stuff like that.
I love seeing all your different sides.
Yeah.
You know, you got that rock side, that romantic side. You're
Yes.
just really feeling the love at all different levels. What do you want? You know, let's say there's maybe people here tonight hearing you for the first time. What would you like them to pull and learn from your music? Because we all identify with songs in our own way, but what is something deep down you would like to share for us to kind of really embrace?
For me, music is a soundtrack, you know, so I want whatever it is that I'm doing to motivate someone to do something. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, you might go to the gym and you forget your music or whatever, and you almost got to go home. You know, it's hard to get that same workout, you know, whatever it is, or when you're writing that paper or when you're on that road trip. When we think about the soundtrack of our lives and the music that has fueled those magical moments for us, I want to just be one of those many people who can provide one of those moments for somebody.
Oh, and you're creating so many moments for me tonight in my life. And I'm sure everyone watching, be sure to check him out on social media. He's everywhere. Get his music here tonight. We need to blow up the world with Be the Noble One in the Knights Temple.
Yes.
Help us do that this evening. Okay. So what have you got for us next?
All right. So this one is optimistic. This one I wrote because, well, just the world we're in right now. You know, a lot of times, you know, optimism is almost frowned upon. You know, the idea of being positive. You yourself, you are such a beam of light, and I think that's such a beautiful thing. And a lot of times, we don't give that enough credence, and we're not thoughtful about that enough. So for me, it was just to be able to say, you know, no matter how many bad things are happening in the world, it just does not make sense not to be optimistic.
Agree. And I fully resonated with this song because there's a sense of hopefulness, you know, that it comes with life. Like we can have trials, tribulations, but that we got to build towards something, you know, fulfill that purpose in our lives. And optimistic was just, it really plucked at my heartstrings. Yeah. So let's all be optimistic together. Let's check it out.
On the bed's right side, amazed by how I just slept. I got moving, I ain't even need coffee. The sunshine provided my pep. Headed to work, I'm all in traffic. Now one time did I get mad? Yeah, I know that we all got problems. I just guess mine ain't that bad. Now later on, I turn on the news, and they say we all going to war. 10 minutes later on the same chair, said the Yankees were down by 4. Don't get me wrong, I know the world get crazy. And believe me, y'all, I do get stressed. I just noticed that my life seems better when I'm focused on how much I'm blessed.
Maybe I'm too optimistic. Maybe I'm just a damn fool, yeah. Some people say I'm a bit too naive. Believing's for fools. I'm so optimistic.
Shouts out to my friends and family. Though we ain't all getting along, just know that no matter what happened, that relationship will still stay strong. Thinking back to the times we had, we was all sharing love in the hood. Fix your thoughts and put your hands on my face. Yeah, homeboy, I wish you would. Now you can even take my neighbor for instance. I don't pat him down when he leave my house, and I ain't asking his political party when he helped me move my couch. I like to think that I'm good with people. Some might even say that it's luck. I just noticed that people are listening. They ain't always having the duck.
Maybe I'm too optimistic. Maybe I'm just a damn fool, yeah. Some people say I'm a bit too naive. Believing's for fools,
but I'm so optimistic.
Maybe I'm too optimistic. Maybe I'm just a damn fool.
She's so, you got your whole, as a band.
Yeah.
Oh, what a feeling. So for you, because there's so many layers to you as an entrepreneur, as a musician, as a mentor, that I think also really equates to the dynamism of your music, that you can speak to all levels of life, ups and downs, no matter where you are. But music is a business, right? So how do you navigate, that sustainability while still finding that inspiration to be creative? What has that been, that balance for you?
I mean, the benefit of being around for a certain period of time is that you can get to a point where the majority of what you're doing is stuff that makes sense for you and the band and things that make sense. Or fit, excuse me. And so for me, when I was younger and it was like I wanted to make it per se. And as I got later in life, I got more into my community and everything that I was doing. And the community is a part of my life's work, and making sure that, Sioux Falls and the surrounding areas, flyover country, is as healthy as possible, is developing the confidence to do great things, and so I'm into that, and music is a part of that mission.
Yes.
It's just not the primary driver in terms of the business anymore. For me, being able to weave all of these things together so my vocation becomes my occupation is kind of how I try to approach it.
Yes.
And so these things all feed into an overall mission, but music had to stay something that I loved, so business does not drive that part. And so now I'm just at a place where I could do things that make sense for us.
I love that. And we all get to benefit from it.
Yeah.
So we have some photos here. You want to tell us a little bit about what they represent?
Yeah, I don't even know what we're looking at, but let's take a look.
Let's take a look. Be the Noble One in history.
So I found this. Okay, so this is a throwback right here. This is one of, I think this has to be 2000, something like that. And so Noblemen, which was the group that I was in. So if you're an old school cat, you remember the Noblemen piece of it. Slam Hound was on there. But this is Atmosphere. There's a young gentleman there, Idea. He passed away he was from Minneapolis. He was a very talented freestylist and that type of thing. So that was kind of this is kind of a special thing because it wasn't too long after that we lost him. But we had Atmosphere down here. So if you're familiar with the Minneapolis music scene, that's a big deal. But that's a very early hip hop show build of the hip hop. Because, when we were talking about coming out of the late 90s, we couldn't play places. There wasn't a whole lot of places that was interested in having, hip hop now. And obviously now we know is, the preeminent, genre in the world. And it's a different thing, but we still had to build it. We still had to, when we were doing shows back then, we had to pay for everything. And so we were going into shows knowing that we were going to lose thousands of dollars. But it's something that had to be done in order to kind of build the scene. And so now to be able to have, young folks that can look at the Levitt stage and just imagine the music. What I said to Nancy when I first kind of saw it, because when I first got into Levitt, it was emotional for me a little bit because we never really built anything for music. Obviously, we have things like the Washington Pavilion, and now we have things like the District and the Premier Center, but there wasn't a whole lot of things to cultivate music that were done for that purpose. Everything was kind of retrofitted or adjusted to be able to do it. And for me, when I look at the Levitt stage, what's so beautiful for me is that all of those kids that are on that lawn, all they have to do is imagine what they're going to do with the stage. When I was younger, I had to imagine the stage. And so for them, all they got to do is just dream about what they want to put on it. And that's advancement. That's us growing. And I think the community is starting to really embrace and realize how much culture drives a healthy, happy community.
Yes. Healthy community, healthy economy, healthy, just general around mission to unite and bring us together.
Yes.
It is just, I too, when I first saw it, I couldn't wait. And you mentioned Brule earlier. I was part of that little dance circle that we had and that energy. And I'm just like, I'm in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Yes.
And here we are, and music lives here.
Yes.
I just want to thank you for the groundwork that you have laid out. You said that all that money you put out so you guys could play and be shown. That's an investment. that you made that we are now able to cherish and relish on. So thank you for investing in our community. By investing in yourself, you invested in us. And so, I mean, wow.
Well, we appreciate that. We appreciate that.
So we get to meet a little bit of your Night's Tempo coming up.
Yes.
How did you, I mean, that's been a journey. Can you tell us a little bit about that connection before we bring them on?
You know, I was working with some of my friends at the time where Look Within went on to be Show Baby. Isaiah James, Trevor Anima, and Chris Hill. And Chris Hill was working with me on the project, and he knew this is something that I wanted to do. I wanted to do something with a live band. You know, I wanted the full sound. I was one of those people. My favorite rock band is Queen.
Yeah.
And then even seeing like Ray Charles back in the day and that type of thing, and having people bring in those operatic elements. One day, you know, the goal is to play with the symphony orchestra here, which I'm a huge fan on. I participate with. But in any event, and so we start putting together the pieces, and the first person who agreed to, you know, kind of rock with us was the guitarist, Jason Kringen. And for a lot of the folks in the band, this has been their longest project because, you know, again, we play a little bit more selectively, and we really just love being around each other. That was the biggest thing for me. So in terms of the band, because it's nothing that I have to do anymore, I gotta care about the people that I'm doing stuff with, and I care about all of them. And
you just learn about each other so much more deeply because that music, that language, it really shares to the soul of a person.
For sure.
And it definitely comes across to that. So let's meet the Night's Tempo.
Yes.
Well, my name is Seth Curl. I'm the drummer. I've been with the Night's Tempo for about 6 years, roughly, so about 2015. So I started playing drums when I was 8. I liked the way that our first recording session went at Biggs, coming together with everybody, being kind of the newest guy to the group. That was really fun.
Yeah, my name is Fayette Munshipu. I'm the bassist. Well, I've been with V and the Night's Tempo for, I would say, a year. But as a bass player, I would say I've been playing maybe for 10, 12 years. My best memory so far is the recording for the Levitt show we had a couple of 8 weeks ago or so. So that was the first performance I had with them, and it was really fun. So.
My name is Victor Feiny. I play keyboards, and I've been with the Knights for 2 years. I think probably one of my favorite memories is just the collaboration of the sounds and the layers, putting everything together, and seeing the outcome of that product.
My name is Jason Kringen. I play lead guitar, and I've been with the Night's Tempo since pretty much the inception. A long time ago, 2012 or 13, somewhere around there. But yeah, it was just V and Chris Hill at the time, and me kind of just starting to get into forming the Night's Tempo and trying to get a full band created for this amazing project. So it's been a trip since then. It's been awesome. I've had a lot of really cool opportunities over the years. I guess one of them, even though it wasn't a full house necessarily, but we got to play the Premier Center when that was open. So that was really cool to be on that stage and be on an arena stage with this group at the time. It was fantastic.
I'm Tyler Klusman. I play percussion and hand drums. I've been with V and the Night's Tempo for 7 or 8 years now. Pretty much always played percussion the whole time. There's been one show where that was probably one of my memories. We opened for a Nashville band. And we had to hire a bunch of guys. We didn't have a piano player for the show. We had a different bass player, first time he's ever played with us, and everyone just rocked the house. I got to play drum set for that, and that was just a show that sticks out in my memory.
My name is Emmanuel Bassi. I play saxophone, and I've been with the Knights for 9 years. My favorite memory was at the Falls when we did an intimate setting performance for the crowd, and that one definitely cemented a lot with me.
My name is Shandy Wells, and I've been with the Knights for 8 years. My favorite memory would probably be when we did a show at Pave.
So I had the amazing opportunity to meet the Knights Tempo myself. So let's take a look at what that interview transformed into. I am so excited to officially meet the Knights Tempo. You guys have such a poetry, a range, a score, a diverse background of music that I really feel we get the world that has come together in one singular band. And I had to move to South Dakota to discover what the sound is. You guys are embodiment of culture. You are empowerment. You are positivity and the ultimate instrument that connects the soul with the community and bringing us all together. So I'm so excited to sit with each and every one of you here tonight and to share a little bit more deeply into what matters, into your creative process, and what we can learn to truly embrace you when you hit the stage this summer. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Knights Tempo. So guys, your music, I feel like nobody can really put you in the box. You come from a wide range. You have jazz, reggae, blues, classical, hip hop. There's so much to your sound. And even when you perform too, there's an arc. There's a sense of storytelling to a single song, but then also to the arrangement of the full playlist when you're on stage. How would you describe your storytelling?
I think that's something that's been really, from me being involved from the beginning, has been something that I've really loved is V's storytelling. His lyrical content really is moving and story, and it really is a great story. And so it's a challenge as a band to really help tell that. So it's a lot of work. It's hard to describe, but I would say it's just a lot of effort and compromise and discussions on what really matters in this moment for this song. What are we trying to say here? What speaks to the song the best? And it's hard to get there sometimes because we have a lot of different styles with our group and a lot of different technical abilities, and so it's a really fun challenge to put that together and to make it into a cohesive show that does retain the original meant story that the song really needs to convey. So it's a fun process. It's a lot.
Yes, it is. It's a collaboration to help contribute to a theatrical story, and so all those pieces we have. We're trying to be in line and in touch with what Vaney's trying to communicate in the song and the message of the song. So that's why sometimes we have to be guttural in the way we are, or swelling on different aspects of music and stuff like that. So yeah, it's honestly just helping impart the story. So
to me, it's a sense of completion. It's a spirit we have. So the way we feel during the performance, we've practiced and worked hard at it. As we feel confident about what is happening, it's just a way of getting it out again. Saying, hey, we internalize it, we feel good about the product we have. It's for you to enjoy. So that's the story.
Or practicing with the awareness that when you get on stage, you're going to have adrenaline, you're going to have all the lights and everything. And so, yeah, harnessing that and still being able to play with emotion and still being able to have dynamics throughout, not just the songs, but throughout the whole set, and giving everyone we have songs where everyone gets a little solo section, and we have songs where Shandy takes the lead. And so, yeah, just a huge, great, big dynamical change, I guess, throughout all the music that we play.
Yeah.
We have saxophone and the hand drums. We play some reggae stuff, and yeah.
There's a wonderful message that I feel that is very empowering through your songs. We have Standing Together, Rocksteady, Ain't It Funny, Optimistic, and through the lyrics, there's this version of be the best version of yourself. Standing together, this love connection, relationships. In your own words, what message is your music conveying to the audience?
I think to me anyway, I think it's like a reflection of ground zero, like real earth people, daily life grind stuff. So we're hitting smack into the face of what people are feeling, you know, at their jobs and their lives, their, you know, what they're doing, how they're feeling in whatever present era, and it kind of transcends, you know, the time frame, you know, and kind of moves through that, but just kind of relates to how people are, you know, how we live. And I think that's what I kind of get from it. What do you think, man?
The lyrical content that V brings to us, he gives like a real life scenario in every song, and he touches on, you know, so many subjects, but something that remains consistent is that he's basically making a connection with anybody and everybody from every walk of life. Everything that we do musically, and all the lyrics that he manages to come up with, which are nothing short of masterful. He's got this wonderful way of just always knowing exactly the right thing to say, and how to say it, which is cool to me.
I would say that it's communicating to the audience members that we understand the different different scenarios of life. So some of it is in pain, some of it is in just letting go, and that's another piece of it. Is sometimes our music is just to let people let go, and so we're trying to make sure that they're uninhibited and they're not thinking about the box or the structure that is.
So on that note of, you know, you play, it's my understanding a lot of you play with other bands. So how do you differentiate that experience between this and others, and what do you look forward to when you come together here as the Knights Tempo?
Well, in my case, I come from reggae to playing hip hop, rap, and stuff like that. So it's a new genre, you know, I have to work on and practice. That helps me as a musician to do something else. So just the thought of joining a different band and playing with them, it's something new I'm learning versus what I'm used to. So that learning curve, it's really good. And you know, when you have talented musicians and good songs to go with, you know, it's just smooth sail. So yeah.
And I go where I'm needed. So if people say, hey, I need a drummer, and I go running. No, and V, we've been blessed with drummers. That's what this band, we have drummers. And so, yeah, and so that's where I got the percussion gig. And until this guy comes after me for that, no.
I can play percussions, but he's...
You can though.
Yeah.
He actually can play
yeah.
drums and a lot of different instruments.
Yeah, but...
Oh man, for me, I guess it comes down to I love the challenge of this group because I play in a few different bands, a lot of different genres, but this one has been historically the most challenging and the most interesting for me because, like I mentioned earlier, we have so many different styles and technical abilities, so it's a real challenge to come up with this band. And none of us are really core hip hop people, you know, like that isn't that's at least not my background, you know, I'm more progressive rock kind of guy. So trying to have all of us come together and learn how to do this in a way that retains that message that V wants and really has the spacing and the layers, and we're not stepping on each other and creating a muddy sound, because we've got 8 people in this band. Yeah. It's a lot of people, and if we're all just being our own musicians and playing, that doesn't work together, you know, so it's a real balance act that we have to work together.
Awesome. So during COVID this past year, has this been a time of creativity for you? And now that you are back together, are you bringing something a little extra or more through your growth as a musician to the table now that you guys are, you know, reunited? What has the COVID experience been?
COVID was kind of a bummer for me in a sense, just because we weren't able to perform, you know, when we were originally supposed to. Creativity-wise, I have been writing a lot for myself, not necessarily for, you know, this specific set. But I think COVID kind of brought us all together a little more, to be honest with you, because I know for a fact that we all missed each other. We all missed, you know, performing and rehearsing like we normally did. So I think it kind of gives us that oomph now for when we perform, that, you know, we're here, we're back, and we're ready to rock and roll, you know, so.
Honestly, I can't say that. As a musician, it was more of a pullback because COVID helped us realize what was more tangible in our lives. So family and time. And the biggest thing is when we were managing our time, we started realizing, well, I specifically started realizing that we have compartmentalized our life to the point where some of the time that we're wasting is not really as productive as it should be. And so even though we look at that as that's already, it's written, you know, it is written, it's not really relevant or necessary. And so I started specifically pairing out my time and doing things that I felt meant a lot for me, which sometimes is family and things like that.
Through the entire pandemic, I've actually stayed very busy playing gigs where I can, doing it safely, obviously. Took a lot of that away naturally, but with this group specifically, the creative side has been a lot easier because we've had the opportunity to spend more time together, to actually fit the pieces together. This new music, the 4 songs that we've worked on, and then like the 3 that we haven't gotten to yet that we've been piecing together. All of that stuff has come together a lot easier, a lot faster, because everybody isn't quite so busy musically, and I think everybody in this group plays in at least, I want to say, 3 bands, maybe. I think you and I probably play in 3 bands together.
Yeah, and then some extra ones, yeah.
And then some extras, but
yeah.
So the creative process has been really fun. We actually get a chance to really slow down and work through all of these songs a little bit more in depth.
Yeah, what did I used to say? I refer to myself as like the black matter. So like, kind of the jelly that is in the in-between, but really all that, the cushiony stuff, you know, the layering stuff where like when you hear the music, you hear that just the solidified part of that, I guess, if you can say it that way. But I do remember the first time we were going to get together and practice again. And I remember maybe like a nervousness, you know, like, hey, let's get together. And then we were going to hit those new songs, and they just started flowing really, really awesome, like super well for not being together for a little bit. And it was like, yeah. And that's when like that nervousness maybe perhaps turned straight up into excitement. It was really cool. Just cascaded into this like, all right, this is going to be cool. You know, so that was super fun.
Are there any fun traditions that you and the band like to do right before you go on stage?
We usually do like the Knights Tempo Assemble type thing, you know, and then we get together in the green room or whatever and prepare and all right, this is right before we, you know, psych each other up and just have our moment of that usually always happens, yeah. But that's the thing, Knights Tempo Assemble, which I love.
What are your feelings about performing on the Levitt stage this summer? What's going on in the head, heart, mind, body?
I'm hiding it well, but I am beyond excited to finally be on that stage, on a real stage in my hometown in front of all of my friends and family, my peers, and show everyone what I've been working towards with this group for the last 6 years, and this group means a lot to me. It's been a major focus for me for a long time. And to finally be on that stage, especially with this new configuration and all of these people, I like literally love all of you guys dearly. It's so nice to finally be, getting out there and being on that stage in particular. It's the best one around.
Yeah, the opportunity is amazing. I mean, I'm excited for us to be like, picking up that rock and being like, what are those guys doing under there? Like straight up just. Giving up what we have to offer and just letting it all out. It's gonna be super fun.
It's awesome. As long as we're not shy, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm comfortable with expressing myself even on a stage, so I have no issues with it, and I think that it's just refreshing to be able to help people feel what we're feeling. So
I am incredibly excited about the opportunity to play Levitt. been ever since that opened. It's been a dream. You know, like I hope I can get to play this someday, and it's such a great venue for Sioux Falls, and just an immense thing. And yeah, if we can participate in that, and yeah, help just not only spread the word of this awesome place, but just
what is truly communicated through your music. There's this love, this peace, this connection between everyone through every stage of their life, the ups and downs, different jobs and professions, in which your music is truly for everyone to enjoy, embrace, and to incorporate into their daily lives. The Knights Tempo, thank you very much. The Levitt, it's all about bringing this diversity, or diverse backgrounds together to one stage, and we are doing it with one band. So I love you guys. I am now your biggest fan. Thank you for being here. I love it. Knights Tempo Assemble!
Yes.
And then TK is so funny. I go where I am needed.
He really is like that, though. I mean, TK is really like, I can always count on TK to be here, you know, energy-wise, and that's a big help for me. But the Knights Tempo Assembles was when you're trying to corral, 8 people and 8 artists. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta yell something. And, everybody stops their conversations because they know we gotta rally up. But all of those folks, man, and just you have people that have been doing music their whole lives, 20 years, 25 years, all those other type of things. I'm super blessed to be with them.
Gosh, and your family, that synergy, it's just the love. Yeah. It's really there, and it exudes through your music.
No, it's legit.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to dive a little bit more into the Noble One. We have a photo that we're about to share, so we can get some more of your history.
Actually, this is me with Think 3D. So my company, Think 3D, this is my primary thing. We do leadership development training and organizational culture consulting. Here we are in Mitchell, and we are working with a group called Our Home. And so they do some work with youth that are facing some challenges and that type of thing. And so culture is what drives me. So even when I'm not doing music, is trying to put, help put culture out into the community and in our different organizations. So that's my day job.
Oh, yeah. Amen. Yes. Ooh.
Yes. This is 605 Summer Classic, I believe. So 605, my good friend Alana Snyder, who is the owner of 605 Magazine, who, like I said, is a very good friend of mine. And since they started this magazine, which is over 10 years now, they've been doing both the magazine and the 605 Summer Classic. And I have hosted and or played it every year. So those are my good friends. This is another one from 605 Summer Classic right there. This was a poppin' night right now. The energy was beautiful, being able to play outside. And you could also see, if you could make this out, we are out here in 8th and Railroad at the time. This is where it was happening. Now happens in Sharapa, but which is where we're at right now, which is the 8th and Railroad building. And we love being here so very much. They're so great to us. And so shout out to 8th and Railroad. Shout out to downtown Sioux Falls. And this one is the Premier Center. I really love this moment, because this was when the Premier Center opened. And one of the things that Mayor Huster thought, or his team came up with, was, this is the people's house, open it up to the people and let everybody come and see it. So that was a day that everybody was kind of able to come in. They had really inexpensive concessions, and people were able to walk through the different booths and all that type of stuff. And so they had bands playing, and they reached out to us, and we were able to play this. And so this was a really big stage, because even though it was in this particular setting, it was in a kind of an open house type setting. Getting the opportunity to rock those kind of stages is a really big deal.
Wow. What do people? So we started off with Think 3D.
Yeah.
And then the full range of performances. When people meet you, I imagine they're like, wait, you're a rapper, or you hip hop, you do music. Are people surprised? Like, whoa,
It's funny. A lot of times with people, where do I know you from? And I genuinely have no clue where they would know me from. And the thing I love about it is I don't like being hamstrung into those type of things. I got different talents and all that type of stuff, different interests. And I just want to do different things. I was never a person that, I have a love for mastery, but I knew that I was never going to be a master, or if I was going to be a master jack of all trades, right? Because that's what I wanted to do. And one of the things that I love, and luckily I've lived my life in such a way, or the community is kind of allowed me to be in a space where most people don't know what I do, really. They don't know how much money I have. They don't know, because ultimately those things don't really matter.
Right.
What matters is for me is what you could bring to a room, what you bring to an environment, what you bring to your community. That's what I more want to be known for, because I'm gonna do whatever brings me joy. I'm gonna do whatever I think is interesting or fun or helps the mission. And sometimes it's music, sometimes it's my business, sometimes it's philanthropy, sometimes it's nonprofit work, whatever it is. We just, we just got to do the thing.
And we're all more than one thing.
For sure.
And so, and you're I imagine it must be tough finding a balance through all that, being pulled, using different areas of your brain at a given time. So I think even now with the people that you do mentor through Think 3D and the picture that we showed earlier, I mean, how you are the real thing. You know what I mean? People can imagine, but if they have a beacon, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, our beacon of hope, our beacon of light, to see what that looks like and to see a future that you can really grow into and ascend to, the possibility, the opportunity, that right there, thank you for defining it and laying out the groundwork. You speak to giving back and doing what matters to you, and you're planting seeds.
That's the whole thing for me. My big thing is that I want the people in this community to know how powerful they are, how talented they are, how special they are. And I want them to know all the amazing things that we could do. And so for me, it's about that. So a lot of times I like to do things just because I feel like they need to be done.
Yes.
So I can say, look, we can do it, and then let's move on. And then and then my hope is that other people who aspire to do those things can gain some confidence, because it's an unfortunate reality that many of us require permission to truly be our best selves and live our lives the way we want to. And if somebody is waiting on that permission, I want to give it to them.
Right.
My thing, especially from a rap perspective, is that whenever we went anywhere, people would always say, South Dakota. They would always do that number. And my thing is that I just wanted any young artist, particularly rap artists or anyone that looked like me, that when they went someplace after I was there and somebody said, they were from South Dakota, there wasn't going to be any chuckles. There wasn't going to be any laughter, because I wanted to have done enough.
Yes.
To where when somebody else from this community goes someplace, people say, oh, South Dakota, I once saw a guy from South Dakota. I really love that show, or whatever that is. I want to create an impact so that that's not a barrier for anybody that follows me.
Yeah, I hear you there. I relocated here. They're like, why South Dakota? I was like, why not South Dakota? You know what I mean? The arts are here. You're here. We've got it. Come on, people.
We're winning. We're half the traffic.
We have it. And you know what? And we're inviting you to be your best self. All right? Be your best self, everyone.
This is actually a good segue to the next song, because this is specifically why I wrote this song. We started a brand called Flyover Country, and Flyover Country was about the idea of taking all of those people who are overlooked and taking that idea of that places like South Dakota are not worth stopping. And so people just fly over it. And we wanted to take ownership of that. So we developed this brand, Flyover Country. And as we were thinking about it, it got me into, writing this song and being able to say, listen, let's all up our confidence. I believe that the Midwest is one of this country's last best chances to get it right. We have the benefit of seeing what is happening on the coast, and we can do things differently. We don't have to do it the way people did it. We can love each other. We can compete in a healthy way. It doesn't have to be a rat race. It doesn't have to be dog eat dog. It doesn't have to be a scarcity mentality. We can operate in growth and support and camaraderie. And that's what I want to have happen. And so this is kind of one of the anthems for that.
Oh, let's get ready for the anthem. Here we go.
I've been repping my city since a little guy. Campaigning in the hard shot to Lincoln High. When it's all said and done, I hope they raise my number. Because them nobles held you down for like 7 summers. I put it down for my city and that's out of love. Forget your back, I got your front, baby, I'll take them slugs. They call us flyover country, they ain't for my fabric. And they can't see we living good, but like half the traffic. But I'll be steady on my grind, so ain't no need for magic. And I got a mean sleight of hand, so they can't see the tactic. And you can play all day, but the night is mine. Because who else gon' match the sound of when the nights combine? And all my peers think the stranger from the frozen plains. Well, I guess I do explain why your boy got such an icy game. I hit the streets just to let them all know that I'm a cold son of a gun. I was raised in snow. Here we go.
Get up and get back in the game. Gotta keep pushing, till the world knows your name. Get up and get back in the game. Gotta keep pushing, till the world knows your name.
Now if you out here trying to get it, then this song for you. Cause anyone that's trying to get it know that it's hard to do. And before they tell you yes, they gon' tell you maybe. And if you don't work yourself to death, then they gon' call you lazy. Tried to push me out of my mind, but they couldn't face me. Cause before they call you genius, they gon' call you crazy. I know it's hard for you to shine and the world is shady, but keep on doing your thing and know I got you, baby. And know the ones that bring you down, they be hurting too. And they can't focus on themselves, that's why they locked on you. And they gon' say all type of things, but that don't make it true. That's why you gotta keep it pushing and just do what you was born to do. This is my dream, you ain't gotta want it too. Unless you wanna go through all the things that I went through, the game done changed. So I guess now I'm changing too. It's the ones that stay the same, now she deja vu.
Get up and get back in the game. Gotta keep pushing, till the world knows your name. Get up and get back in the game. Gotta keep pushing, till the world knows your name.
Yes.
You guys are so good.
Yes, I got to give a shout out. So that was done by my guy Carl at Warehouse Studios. First of all, there's not a whole lot of studios that could hold us, and so that was just a beautiful place to be able to do it. It was great. We spent a couple days doing that, and that was really for the Levitt. And we spent a couple days together, and it was just good days being able to hang out with the squad and film and do those things. And then Clear Frame Media and Main Street Media who put the videos together and shot that. Like, again, it's just so many talented people. And that's the thing that I want people just to be able to get about all of the things that we're doing. It's just so many opportunities to bring talented people together.
We see it. It's beautiful work of art right there. Scene, video, music, obviously. It is all the mediums literally coming together through this beautiful series we put here tonight. So what have you got for us next?
This one right here, I think this is the last primary one, Millionaire. Self-explanatory.
All right, ladies and gents, let's embrace and enjoy Millionaire.
I
been good with money. You came in and went. I bought everything that I wanted. I ain't care what I spent. I spent most of my time recouping and chasing the bag, staying focused on the money, cause that's all that I had. Then one day the clouds parted. I saw you, and I could see my future flash from a bird's eye view. And it was clear to me then that I was focused on the wrong thing. It sure started. I needed me a long game, but look who came along and showed me the way. I got so much love I owe you, I'd be happy to pay. And I ain't focused on materials that get in the way. And I gladly spend my time making it worth it to stay.
Yes. I mean, yes. Oh my gosh. So V, what is, before we leave tonight, share with us any wisdom you would like to give to our community, anyone who is watching that I have not asked of you already. What's on your mind, heart? Everyone be the noble one.
Yeah. Nah, my thing is you know, I think 3D, we have belief statements for ourselves. We have mission statements for ourselves. And my personal one is teach people how to love, starting with themselves. And so for me, it's like my whole thing, especially for our community, is for people to love themselves and just get used to the idea of it. You know, a lot of times in our Midwest nice way, in our humble way, sometimes we downplay our abilities and our skills and the things that we could do. But for me, I'm such a fan of us and the talent that we have. And I just want people to live out loud, and I want people to do their thing. I want us to take this thing to the next level. We can keep that special part of the culture that Sioux Falls has.
Yes.
But we can share some of that with the world because the world needs it. And so I just want everybody out there that has talent, that has spirit, that have drive,
Mm-hmm.
just to turn it up a couple notches. You know, it's time.
Turn it up. It's time.
It's time.
We love you. Share you with the world. Love yourself. On that note, we just want to, speaking of the love, we want to thank our sponsors for this amazing opportunity tonight. So Core Trust Bank, thank you. Sanford Health, of course, the Levitt. And I also want to give a special thank you to our CEO, Nancy Halverson, who is just so
Come
amazing.
on down.
Nancy, can you please come? She's in the studio,
Yes.
making sure everything's awesome. Come sit. Come sit. You get to be,
You get to
on,
be
the
on the
couch.
You get to be on the couch.
Ladies and gentlemen, we love her so very much.
The boss lady, y'all.
Boss lady, what a queen.
Okay.
What a queen.
Thank you, bro.
And we have more to look forward to as a result of this team that we have right here. So please be sure to stay tuned, looking forward. The Levitt is happy for this partnership that we now have with South Dakota Public Broadcasting. We've got 3 episodes coming for the spring. The first one to kick us off is with the Lemon Bucket Orchestra. They are a Balkan, gypsy, party punk band from Toronto, Canada. They've got high energy. They're awesome. And you really do not want to miss it. So mark your calendars tonight for March 27th, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we just love this partnership to be involved with Levitt in Your Living Room. And thank you, SDPB. We love you. So on that note.
Actually, real quick, throw that in the wide, Dan. Slide over here real quick, sir. Hold on, we got to give a shout out to Dan, director of most things.
Dan, get out. He's real, everyone. Dan, he's real. Yes.
So before we get out of here, quick story. So when this was all happening and Nancy reached out and Roseanne, who's another great member of the Levitt staff, and said, what are we going to do? We were talking podcasts, all types of stuff. And I was just like, I had the show I was thinking about doing, and we just never got around to doing it. Could we try it? And at that time we had a couple raggedy cameras and we had some other stuff, and we were putting things together, and we were telling the story just today about the first dry run that we did before Corey and the Fireflies, and like everything went wrong. Okay. And this guy didn't get sleep for about 2 days, figured it out, has kept figuring it out. All that you see here right now has elevated since we started from that little thing. And so shouts out to Dan for putting in the work and doing all of the things that bring it, not just this content either, content for a lot of folks right now. And so shout out to Dan. Appreciate you. Any words for the people?
It's been fun. No, none. I'm not mic'd up.
See, he knows.
All right. Well, I need you to hit a button now anyway.
Yes.
But shout out to the whole team, everybody. Shout out to the Knights Temple. Love all you guys. Everybody that supported this thing, Levitt National, the whole 9, all of the artists that have done it. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to sound like this is the end of this, but it's the end of me, at least in this part of it. And so I want to say thank you. I got a chance to talk to so many amazing artists, and so thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Apollonia.
Thank you. We love you. Levitt, we love you. I want to say Levitt, because I love the Levitts, So ladies and gents, I'm excited to be in this next journey through the spring. Stay tuned. Do not miss out. I'm your host, your new host, Apollonia Davalos. I love you. Mwah, mwah. Enjoy our outro music, and good night.